questions?
Yes, sir.
Sonnie in Arizona, you are a leadoff hitter.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here with us and sharing more of your story. You know, I was just taking it all in and thinking about the different things that you've done around a movement within an Afghan community, the dignified dining, the food truck apprenticeship, and what seems to be the common thread there is a deep connection that you find to bring things together that may not normally come together. And so I'm curious, Scott said something about it earlier, but you can take these complex situations and break them down. And so what is the process in your mind to take a rather complex situation and process it down to be something where you can find a solid solution for it?
That's an awesome question. We look at part of it's just the way, you're right. We take in a lot of data. We all take in data, quite a bit. For me, it's always been when we're taking all those in, they're not all weight or not all things created equal. And so quickly trying to identify, and I intentionally use that term for with the Afghan Air Force. We had so many measures and things we're doing, and we all know that's just code for diffusion of attention and resourcing and everything else. If you scope it down, 3 to 5 is the range. I tend to land on 4. So I look when we're bringing all that data in, I register a handful that actually go, this we can do something with, this we can, and then that stops. And from that, so already taking all that, finding 3 to 4 things that we can build around. And you're very gracious, the way you teed that up. I'm glad you brought up that there's still so many folks who believe innovation is about creating something or inventing something. And we're like, I remind people, it's all about an organizing model. So if you have food trucks, we didn't create those. I didn't create round metal objects. We didn't create restaurants. We didn't create broken people. You get it. So getting our mind to go, let's try to do and create a solution with what we have before we create, buy, or build something. That's like my big thing I probably need therapy over. I'm like, let's stop building stuff and let's start using stuff. I mean, so when the data is coming in, it's like Legos. If I were to, because you got all these pieces kind of in there and they're right, and it looks like, what is that thing? But when you pick out certain ones to get started, it's like pick 3 or 4 things that you can get started, knowing you're going to construct on the way, with the goal of try to use everything that's in front of you, the resources, the capabilities, the strengths, and the talent, and only then, when you realize like a critical corner to finish that thing isn't there, do you go build it or buy it. And so I think simplicity is, otherwise we can take in data, we can analyze forever. So part of it's a gift that I can take it in, my life, good or bad, emerges like in a map, and you're like, got it. Those are the things. And it's usually not one thing, right? But as we all know, it is about 3 or 4. You don't have to, you get 3 or 4 right to start. Now you can start to be able to create, you can adjust, and that creates an energy. It also gets people to buy in, right? Because they can understand 3 or 4 things. They can't understand 42. So if that answers your question, it's simplicity through get started, don't make it too many things, and try to contain, try to bound yourself by allowing nothing, building or doing something new, building something new. That's been the biggest success I think we've had, is we only built when there was a confirmed gap that we couldn't solve another way.
Excellent. Thank you.
I love, John, that thought of innovation as you don't have to create something new. So, I run a company called Something New, and we've won 8 consecutive awards for innovation. But I always say, I mean, that's all well and good. But if we were on Shark Tank, they'd throw our ass out and they'd say, nothing you do is proprietary. All we've done is take existing stuff and put a different little spin on it, organize things differently, but it's led to, a fair amount of success. You don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Let me just add, I agree. So what I think of innovation is we organize things in a new and novel way, right? So getting exactly to your point, taking things that exist and organizing them in a new and novel way, I think is the most accessible form of innovation everybody has, right? Because you're just taking things that are, so I'm with you. I mean, that's why helping even realize that gives it empowers everybody, right? Because you don't have to necessarily have a pile of money or a pile of this, or you don't have to be able to build something. So I share your same spirit and approach to innovation.
I love it. We're